The Trump administration has talked tough on gangs.
We will prosecute gang members who commit crimes to the fullest extent of the law, and after they've been convicted, if they're not here lawfully, they're going to be deported. I have a message for the gangs that target our young people. We are targeting you. We're coming after you.
And they did. That was in April in Central Islip, and then there's now. That pledge paying off. Since those comments, New York Suffolk County on Long Island has arrested more than 40 MS-13 members, a third of which were unaccompanied minors when they came to this country. Here now is the Suffolk County Sheriff Vincent DeMarco, who's testifying before the MS-13 about MS-13 in federal court today. Sheriff, thanks so much for being here. What's changed since April 28th and when the Attorney General came to Long Island?
Well, the Attorney General made a commitment to come in here and start eradicating the gangs, and that's exactly what they're doing. And it's a big difference. Since John Kelly's taken over Homeland Security, the relationship between local government and Homeland Security has been phenomenal. A lot of communication, and they're actually allowed to do their job now. Why does that matter?
Why does it matter between the communication, federal government and local? That cooperation should be implicit in their doctrine.
It should. We gather on the local level a lot of intelligence from local street arrests we make. Right now we have probably 30 MS-13 members incarcerated in the county jail. And we've been interviewing them, taking notes, and some of those notes I'm going to share with the committee today. But we share those with Homeland Security, we share them with the FBI, and that communication is very important. And being able to act on that information is even more important, and that's what you're seeing Homeland Security investigations do now.
Unbelievable. So you feel as though the ICE agents have expressed to you they feel empowered. ICE and the gang unit, who I've had the privilege of driving around with, they feel as though the government backs them up. And it has resulted into the not only picking up MS-13 gang members, but leaders on the streets, especially in this working class community over in Brentwood, Long Island.
Yes. Listen, the community, I believe, loves what we're doing here because we're making their community safer. And as far as Homeland Security and ICE agents, when I communicate with them, they just feel like they're allowed to do their job now. And it seems so simple, but it's such a big deal. I mean, we have laws on the books. They weren't allowed to enforce those laws. They were not allowed to do their job. People talk about discretion, but that's a very slippery slope in law enforcement, giving officers too much discretion. That leads to corruption eventually.
I'm not going to reveal, because it wouldn't help you guys, but the new technology that Homeland Security has given to you, your gang units, enable you to be able to track these guys where you're never able to track them before and maybe solve some of the crimes that are out there. But in the big picture, when people saw the flood of illegals going across our border, unaccompanied minors, they said, America, how dare you condemn these illegals coming across? Open up your hearts, including, you know, as far back as the Vatican. Well, a lot of those illegals turned out to be gang members commissioned to join MS-13, where they commit some of the most brutal crimes imaginable, where their method of, where their weapons are usually hatchets.
Yeah, machetes are the weapon of choice. Very brutal, very personal crimes when they murder people and assault them. But unaccompanied minor program has good intentions, but there is no enforcement of the rules of the program, and that's why we're winding up with these gang members here committing these horrific crimes. The sponsor families are not held accountable for these children, and that has to change, and that'll all be part of my testimony today. Right. And the interviews that I submit as testimony are going to be very powerful because you're going to be hearing it right from these kids who came over as unaccompanied minors. It's not me, it's not you know, another congressman just giving stories. These are right out of the mouths of these kids.
And to continue, what other message do you have for, what else are we going to hear today if we were able to pick up your entire testimony?
Well, I'm going to obviously praise Congressman Peter King for following through on his promise to bring the committee here to Long Island. President Donald Trump for following through on his commitment to eradicating gangs, and also going to talk about the unaccompanied minor program. And the big thing for me is going to be speaking about these interviews, and I'll be discussing 2 of the interviews, but I'm going to be submitting about 10 of them in my submitted testimony.
And you know what sticks out with me in the conversations with the parents of the slain and those in the neighborhood, they say when the kids get off the bus, they used to hang out on the bus stop and go play sports afterwards. Now when the bus stops they run home. They're in that much fear of their fellow gang, the other gang members, the people their own age, in their own neighborhood. And hopefully that's coming to an end quickly. Sheriff Vincent DeMarco, thanks so much.
Okay, thank you.